Hey Great Drammers, Greg from GreatDrams here, trying a pre-war black and white. There you go, on the stopper, spring cap and all. Look at this, nail-breaking stuff. Oh yeah. So for those who haven't ever used a spring cap, it is springy as you can tell. Oof. You flick that up and then pull it forward and then it reveals your bottle. Hey, there you go. So this, another whiskey that we used in our old and rare session with the Point and Whisky Club recently, where we all put the same amount of money in. I then bought us all a load of old bottles, and this is one of them. As you can probably tell, there's not a lot of info about this one, although I did buy a couple of these because I was really fascinated, and I always love anything with a spring cap, so that's cool. But yes, so black and white, the old brand with the Scotty dogs on and the Westy dog on it as well. One of those kind of classic, quintessential blended Scotch brands of yesteryear. Still present in certain countries around the world, but nowhere near what it was. Definitely not what it was in the UK when even I remember growing up in pubs all over the country, you'd be, forgiven for not thinking there was a black and white whiskey ashtray in every single pub, memorabilia, bar runners, everything. All my memory of it always seemed to be in optics and all sorts, always seemed to have that kind of, what's the polite word? Tat in their bars. But anyway, this is a pre-war, Second World War, by the way, there's obviously lots of wars, example of an incredibly ancient blend. So this dates back to before 1939, to our knowledge, that's what we've been told. And so, yeah, so that would be, oh God, 82-ish years since it was bottled. That's quite a long time. Wow, that is quite a fierce nose actually, bit feisty. Whew. If you go in slow, so then the first one, I just thought, screw it, I'll take a big whack of that in and see what happens. Probably shouldn't have. Going in slow though, and quite a nutty, like almond note there. Roasted kind of coffee beans as well. Like roast chestnuts, those kind of things as well. Remember those from those carts when I was younger, walking around London. Quite earthy, quite an earthy kind of. For some reason, I'm being sent to, my mind anyway, is being sent to a walk through the woods with, like, not necessarily campfires, but when you're in the Scouts walking around woodlands aimlessly, looking at a map, probably upside down, wondering what the hell a compass is for. That kind of stuff. Very woody. Whew. But there are peak notes of sherry coming through. You'd have to imagine it was Oloroso sherry, because that's by far and above the most prominent sherry used, especially at these times and even nowadays. But it's got that kind of drying tannic note there as well. Some raisiny notes pushing through too. Wow. Palate, hell of a lot smoother and easier drinking than the nose would suggest. That juicy sherry notes really build and build. Lots of big dark berries there, like a Black Forest Gatto of notes happening right now. Quite interesting, quite juicy, quite fruity. Bit of a menthol note too, which is quite interesting as well. Unexpected given the nose of it. Finish, non-existent. That is gone like lightning. Ooh, that's all right though. It's all right. It's a conundrum of a whiskey. Ancient, so you've got to give it its juice. It's been in glass for a hell of a long time. So yeah, well worth trying ancient blends and whiskies when you get the chance. Thankfully, I do have an extra bottle of this in the house, so we'll gradually nip away at that. But yeah, that's all right actually. Nice. Took a while to warm up into it, but when we got there, I was pleasantly surprised. And especially actually, I said the finish is non-existent. That menthol note has just come all the way back up. And that actually feel really quite fresh and enlivening as well. Interesting. Nice. Until next time.